Previously, I have made separate videos on the Skmei 9288 and the Skmei 1991. Now it's time for a comparison video. I bought the Skmei 9288 in August for $18.69. I bought the Skmei 1991 in October for $18.13. Both prices include shipping. This is the gold tone version of the Skmei 1991. I also bought the rose gold tone version of the Skmei 1991. This one was even cheaper. I paid $14.70 for it. All these three watches were bought through AliExpress.
AliExpress is an online retail service based in China and owned by the Alibaba Group.
China!
Launched in 2010, it is made up of small businesses in China and other locations, such as Singapore, that offer products to international online buyers. It facilitates small businesses to sell to customers all over the world.
I definitely paid too much for the gold tone version of the Skmei 1991. This one was about $4 cheaper. Same watch. You can also find the golden tone version for the same price, around $14. The Skmei 9288, on the other hand, is usually a bit more expensive, but it's not uncommon to find both these models on sale for about $18, including shipping. Both these Skmei models are homage watches, meaning imitations of more expensive Swiss quality brands. The 9288 is similar to the Tissot PRX, while the 1991 looks like a vintage Tissot Sea Star or a 1960s Omega Geneva. Both models have a day and date complication. I suspect that these two watches share the same quartz module. I have noticed that the day indicator on the Skmei 9288 isn't always centered in the day and date window.
A disaster.
Obviously, the 9288 has some quality control issues. The 1991 has no such problems. The finish of the dial on the 1991 is much better compared to the 9288. The 6 o'clock marker isn't 100% straight.
That's a disaster.
And the poorly finished dial is a major flaw on this one.
That whole thing is such a disaster.
Both watches have cases made of zinc alloy, and they have case backs that look like screw-down case backs. But they're not. They are pop-up case backs. On the case backs it says 30 meters water resistant, which means that these models resist no more than splashes of rain. As these are dress watches, 30 meters of water resistance is sufficient. The battery code on both watches is the same. It's SR626SW. It's a good thing to know, or to see the battery code here, so you know what type of battery to buy when it's time to replace the old finished battery after 2 to 3 years or so. To replace the battery, you need to open the case back with a prying tool like this one. So you pry off the pop-up case back in order to replace the battery.
Skmei 9288 versus Skmei 1991 from AliExpress, Part 2.
The Skmei 9288 has a steel bracelet with a hidden double folding push button clasp. As you see, there's a gap between the case and the end link. And the colors of the case and the bracelet, they don't match. The color of the case is a little bit brighter. And here you see the gap. The Skmei 1991 has a leather bracelet with a pin buckle clasp. Here it says genuine leather, but I'm not so sure about that.
You better believe it.
Is this authentic or artificial leather? I actually suspect that it's fake. It's quite rubbery and sticky. This, on the other hand, is certainly a genuine leather bracelet. It's on a citizen watch, and you can actually smell that it's leather. Can't do that on the Skmei bracelet. So let's throw the Skmei 1991 on my 6.6 inches wrist. Well, whatever the bracelet is made of, I think it seems to be quite durable. It's quite thick. The bracelet is of acceptable quality, having the low price in mind. It suits my wrist perfectly. It's a nice looking dress watch. Let's see how well the hands respond when I turn the crown. I think the Skmei 9288 has the most stable movement of the crown and hands.
Let's have a look at the luminescence of these two watches. As you can see, the Skmei 9288 has very poor luminescence, but the Skmei 1991 has no luminescence at all. Which watch is the best buy? World Reviews concluded that the Skmei 1991 is the best buy, as it has a very good finish and looks more expensive than it is. Also, the Skmei 1991 is slightly cheaper than the Skmei 9288.